Hello, my name is Samuel Bateki Nong, and an experience that shaped who I am today is when I was in fifth grade and I got my very first instrument of my own besides my violin, because I play violin. So I got a keyboard, and the keyboard was a 76 key keyboard, and I still have it to this day. And I wanted to get the keyboard because I wanted to compose music and I didn't want to play violin anymore, but I wanted to perform for the school, but I wasn't able to do that. But I still able to perform my violin, but I wanted to perform on my keyboard. That's why I wanted the keyboard. I never was able to do that, but I was able to perform for my church. But the point I'm trying to make is when I got that keyboard, before I got it, it was November of 2011, and I was in the fifth grade, and I prayed to God saying that I would get this keyboard, and then I got the keyboard. And I remember being very happy that I got the keyboard because I knew I really wanted it, and I didn't really think that I was going to get it, besides my prayer. But when I got it, I made sure that from then on I would make full use of it no matter what. Make sure that I would, as much as possible, make as much music, learn as much music, and apply the music I already knew from different sources, including from the orchestra that I played in. I continued to play orchestra whilst being a composer, a burgeoning composer. I could call myself that, as I was starting to write my own songs and compose my own songs. And this is while I was in elementary school. Throughout high school, I was already making my own songs and I was recording it and gradually putting it on YouTube, uploading it on YouTube. And it was a fun process. And I'm still doing that right now, and I'm making music and it's fun. And I learned a lot more about different musics, like different genres of music, different artists, different composers, different instruments, different cultures, and the different concepts that underlie the music. And I sort of put it together as I'm learning it and I read up on it, and as I read up on it, it makes sense because at one point I might not understand it, but if I read it back to back and I read it even one day I don't understand it, I read it again, I do understand it, and it's fun to look at because I can really say that if I understand it at one point, then I can express that understanding through the result being the song that I make, the music that I make. So, I've always appreciated that the idea that people compose music, and I can compose music just like they compose music, and their music is appreciated. Why not my music be appreciated? I mean, that's something that my dad always said, that I can make music to be appreciated as well, because music is education, that kind of thing. So I figured that if I was able to do something like that, I could do it because it's something that people do. So it's something that is a possibility, and therefore, if it's a possibility, I could do it. And I could be able to make songs that reflect my appreciation for these songs, these compositions that already exist, because I'm listening to these songs, and these songs are they reflect the amount of creativity, the amount of intellectual versatility, the amount of depth, and the amount of capacity, and the amount of adaptability with the instruments, not only with the instruments, for the composer and the ear to understand the music. So there's a lot there. And that's really what I appreciate about music. And that really started when I was in elementary school, particularly fifth grade. But I was never always I played music, I played the violin, but when I started playing the violin, before I started playing the violin, I wasn't really into music, but my dad was like, you should play the violin. And ever since I said, okay, I'm gonna play the violin, and I was like, okay. And then that's what really motivated me to want to get it to play the keyboard because I wanted to perform for other people, like an audience. So that's a little bit something about me. Thank you.